Top 14 final, folks. Toulouse go 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Big win over Montpellier. I say big. I mean big as in historic. It's only an 8-point win on the day. And honestly, Montpellier, despite the fact that they were down, like 22... Was it 22-6 or 25-6? They certainly could have won this game on another day. They had heaps of possession. They had heaps of territory. They had a lot of chances. But man, did they dropped so much ball. And to be fair, like Toulouse's scrum was very good. There was a lot of talk about Montpellier trying to get on top of the area. They did not. Toulouse was very able to defend out wide. Toulouse were deadly at taking their opportunities in the first half where Montpellier were not. And like turnovers, man. Like Jack Willis is very good. Not only him, but he's the kind of key exponent of that. 4 in a row for Toulouse. We'll go through some of the key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. After we had the president shaking everyone's hands, excuse me, we finally got underway. It was kind of a tentative start with no side really able to get on top until suddenly, like 5 minutes in, Malvaca gets the first try. That's what I'm talking about, like deadly or ruthless from Toulouse. Like it's an arm wrestle. Both sides have conceded penalties. Nobody's on top. And then suddenly it's just a line out. Just like a little 1-2 play with Malvaca streaming down the blind side, and he dummies, and the winger for Montpellier, Tofafanua, buys the dummy. Malvaca just keeps running. He is very quick for a hooker. One chance, one try, like one genuine try-scoring chance, and it's taken from Toulouse, 7 points to 0. Montpellier were looking to play with width. It was quite entertaining, but Toulouse was able to just tackle them into touch and looked fairly comfortable with Montpellier's their width in their play. Montpellier had a few chances. They almost had a 5-meter scrum, but it was reversed by the officials after a bit of mucking around. But 5-meter line out, they had a chance. Maul, but they give away obstruction at the maul, so it's a missed chance. There's a bit of pushing and shoving between the players. We're only 15 minutes in. There's a bit of feeling between the teams, which is what you want in a final. Then Teddy Thomas gives away a strange penalty for literally picking up and holding him upside down, the other Montpellier winger, Ndabe. He literally just like picked him up and held him upside down like you would a child. That was straight. He didn't put him down like initially. He had the penalty. He seemed confused as to why that was a penalty as well. But that was a bizarre moment, and I felt like it was kind of a moral victory for Toulouse eventually, that Montpellier eventually slotted a 3-point penalty, because Montpellier had so much ball, so much territory, so many chances camped down Toulouse's end, but had come away with nothing. They'd gone for touch at least like 3 times from the boot of Tom Banks. No points from it, so eventually they take the 3. And then immediately Toulouse get 3 points back. Like all that hard work from Montpellier is immediately wiped out when Montpellier concede their own penalty, basically from the restart. So we go all that time 7-0, finally 7-3, and then 10-3. Brutal for Montpellier psychologically. The penalty exchange did continue, though, because Montpellier started playing with a bit less width, going a little bit more direct, and we saw a penalty conceded from Toulouse, trying to get over the ball. So 10 points to 6, they slot another penalty. 10 points to 6 is proper game on. But then I think this is probably, along with the yellow card later, this is probably the winning of the game, because Toulouse really just start to shift the game into another gear. And they're able to break the line in the first half, which we weren't able really to see from Montpellier. Like Tofafanua and Picardo for Montpellier did an incredible job, and I thought Picardo had a very good game from the bench. They saved Montpellier after Labelle had almost done what Malvaca had done earlier, because seemingly out of nowhere, Toulouse strike. Labelle gets a big line break. He gets tackled by Tofafanua, and then he pops the ball into Dupont. Dupont gets tackled by Picardo, and then he pops the ball, and Tofafanua is able to intercept it. So it's a hell of a defensive play from Montpellier to save the try, but they have to take the ball over the line, dot it down. So it's a 5-meter scrum to Toulouse. That gets a penalty. They tap it. It's Dupont, and then Miafu goes close after I think Chocobatis had a big carry. Next phase, Malvaca goes over. It's 17 points to 6. which is a brutal one. That scoreline is starting to look, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but I feel like if Toulouse score next, it's going to be a long road back for Montpellier, and they do score next. Miotti, error from the restart. They had just like too many errors for a final. It's not just Miotti, it's a load of guys. Error from the restart. He kicks it out on the full. It's a scrum to Toulouse. They're able to shift the ball left first, then right. Kinghorn gets himself a break as well. He combines with Thomas and then Dupont on the support line. We are at 22 points to 6. And then Ndebe, a soft offside penalty kind of before halftime. Intermax slots it. It's 25-6. 25-6 in a final. I'm thinking, because I've seen a top 14 final in recent years. Was it the Toulouse-Bordeaux one a few years ago where Toulouse just went nuts? I'm thinking maybe this is going to happen because Montpellier maybe have fired all their shots. Didn't get much from it. Maybe Toulouse is just going to go gangbusters. Fortunately, that's not what happened. Montpellier did keep fighting and they did keep Toulouse honest. But man, did they make some errors in the first half, and Toulouse were just ruthless, like I said. They did have one more chance, Montpellier, before halftime. Kick for touch. There was a bit of a messy line out, but they had a chance like a meter up from Toulouse's line. Toulouse turned them over. Go into the sheds at halftime with a big lead for Toulouse. But then you look at the stats, man. Montpellier, 60% possession, 65% territory. And yet they are behind. But then you look at what Toulouse has been able to do with less ball. They've had more. 3 line breaks to none. 7 defenders beaten to 5. And 200 plus run meters to 164. So Toulouse just doing more with less. Montpellier will be really disappointed. 4 turnovers, 1-2 though. And like 87 tackles to Montpellier's 36. Defensively, you got to give credit to Toulouse for holding Montpellier out. Second half though, we do get the perfect start for Montpellier. Like if they needed a way back into this game, they got the perfect chance for it. Miotti with the little chip in Dabe goes past Jack Willis. And then Picardo with the support line, 25 points to 13. They needed this try. The game needed this try. It's a beautiful bit of play from Montpellier to do the initial chip to get that go forward. And then there's a couple of TMO calls against Toulouse, one for a high tackle in the build-up to the try, which doesn't get carded. And then Lebel does get himself carded as the hooker, Uelese, for Montpellier, who'd kind of gone off injured earlier, come back on. They are kind of competing with the ball, and Lebel's kind of interfering with him, and I think he gets the yellow card for deliberately not getting into touch, but either way, it's a yellow card. And I feel like this is the time where Montpellier needs to, I don't want to say win the game, but they need to score points with a man advantage, with the momentum, and they don't. They blew so many chances. They knocked the ball on so many times, and Toulouse, just their defense was able to hold. It's a nuts period of play. It is absolutely, for a Toulouse point of view, you can say you won the game then. As much as you won the game when you scored 2 quick tries in the first half, during the yellow card period, you did exceptionally well. And Montpellier, man, it's rough. Eventually, towards the end of the yellow card, Toulouse get themselves a scrum penalty. So they actually put 28 points on the board. So it's 28 points to 13. Only points of the second half for Toulouse, and they come during the yellow card. Who would have thought it, man? Back to 15 points apiece. We have a break in the game for some lightning near the stadium, which needs the players, for safety reasons, to take a break. But they come back out, and Montpellier finally get their scrum going. And on 62 minutes, we finally get the try, which just brings it back to this game's going to be interesting when Colli is able to kind of get the dummy, similar to what Movaka did in the first half. He just kind of dummies. The Toulouse defenders just bite enough. I think it was Kroos. I can't remember. Just bites enough to stay out. He goes through the gap, and then he's looking for support and just keeps going. So much needed try for Montpellier, makes it 28-20, but that's the final scoring. I don't think for the final 20-odd minutes, either side played that well. Like Toulouse were kicking from the Buda Ramos, who's come off the bench. His kicks are a bit too deep. The Montpellier guys are just able to mark them pretty easily. Montpellier losing their own line out. They're still knocking it on. And then I think they absolutely lose the game on 74 minutes because they have a beautiful kick for touch from a penalty. It is from their own half, and it puts them like 5 meters out. It is the perfect touch kick. But then they can't handle the line out. They end up knocking it on. It is a chance blown. Montpellier they never get back within that one score. They made Toulouse uncomfortable, but not enough to really threaten taking the game. They needed to get back within that one score, but they did keep Toulouse honest. Toulouse had to work for this one. As I said, they had to do more with less. But yeah, 4 in a row. Big congratulations. That is a massive, massive achievement. I wonder if people will say the top 14 is getting boring because Toulouse keep winning it. I know when the Crusaders were winning all those titles here in Super Rugby, people would always say, no, but nobody wants to watch this because the same team wins every year. Will they say this about Toulouse, or are Toulouse entertaining enough that people stop saying that? You guys who follow the top 14 closer than me will have to let me know. Possession finishes 56-44 to Montpellier. Territory 64-36 to Montpellier. And they actually finished with more line breaks, 5-4. So it was, remember, 3-0 at halftime. So they dominate the second half in terms of line breaks, 5-1 to Montpellier. They busted more tackles, 19-12. But man, they dropped some ball. 19 turnovers conceded to Toulouse's 11. Toulouse had to make 158 tackles to 76. Yeah, both lineouts struggled a wee bit. But yeah, I think Toulouse, man, they scored the extra try. They got the extra penalty. It's a cracking one for them. Willis, 4 turnovers, 1. He's the top tackler with 17. Nushi for Montpellier was trying his best, like 3 defenders beaten. Picardo had 68 meters. Like I said, he was big from the bench. Movaka busted 3 tackles as well. But yeah, interesting one for me to watch. The top 14 for a change. I'm going to go put on more clothes because it is winter here in New Zealand. It looked pretty hot until the rain came over in Paris. But yeah, congratulations Toulouse on your 4th title in a row. Montpellier, commiserations. But your team gave it a good effort on another day. Certainly could have won that one. You guys let us know your thoughts. We get into some international rugby soon. I look forward to welcoming the French team here to New Zealand and see how they go. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again next time. Bye-bye.